Welcome to Blaze City. It's your girl Bella Cinderella. Well, you guys, it's the last Sunday of Black History Month, so let's just get into it. Miss Evers' Boys. So, you guys, this took place in Tuskegee, Alabama, in the year of 1932. The Department of Health and Human Services decided to conduct a study. Now, don't let me forget or leave out the CDC, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. My opinion, only if I had to give this research study a title or make it into a concept idea, I would just simply say syphilis untreated. But you guys, that's just my opinion. So you don't have to quote me on that. Now, does anyone know when syphilis came about? I know, good question. But you should know me by now. Let me do my research. So, according to Colombian theory, syphilis was brought to Spain by the ship captained by Christopher Columbus in 1492, and it spread from there. So, okay, we're going to see. So, we're just going to stop there, you guys. So, we see it's been around for centuries, taking lives in its passing. Nonetheless, in this study, they selected 412 men, not noted all the so-called test subjects were impoverished African American, poor black men. Now, picture the time frame of when this happened and where they decided to pick from. These make a really big difference, you guys. Like a really big difference. So let's change that 412 to 600. 399 had latent syphilis, 201 not affected, not infected. I apologize for that. So the definition of latent means serologic proof of infection without symptoms of disease less than 2 years after infection. This is from the World Health Organization. While this study was being held, the subjects did not know what the experiment was or entailed. Now, the main purpose of the study was to see, well, observe the disease when it is left alone in its entirety. That is so crazy when thinking about what the last Black History, what I was going to do for the last Black History for this Sunday. It was kind of hard to think about it. But you guys, I was standing outside and there was this plane flying around. And then I just started thinking to myself, and then like it just turned on like a light bulb. I was like, the Tuskegee Airmen. But then someone was like, "Do you know about Miss Evers' boys?" I was like, "No." And she was like, "Well, if you're gonna do that, you need to look up Miss Evers' boys." So here we go. So, but let's get back to it though. Within this study, these men were promised health care. Y'all know medicine, and in times it has become, and now it has become more easy to access and obtain. But back then, y'all know it was just, whew, it was hard. Now, this procedure or study was supposed to last only 6 months. It ran for almost an extended amount of 40 years. This experiment killed well over 100 men. Yet, these were Yet those who were still alive had no idea of the fact they were infected with a horrible disease, which in its past has killed many people over centuries. Like, it's the fact of these men were still tested on, giving this, and then still not to know after the fact. To me, this is sick and crazy, and I just say human beings are very unstable creatures because people are crazy, and I don't put there is no color, race, creed. ethnic background that can change the fact of human beings are crazy. But you never know what somebody is going through. So I won't say people are crazy. Everybody has situations. Some situations we can get through and some situations we can't. But that being said, remember this was for 40 years. Within this 40-year time frame, there was an antibiotic that was developed, penicillin, in 1947. So remember this, guys. This started in 1932. Now a lot of the people are now a lot of people are allergic to penicillin. So just throwing that out there. But anyway, these scientists and doctors who were performing or had a part in this experimental study decided against letting these men know that there is a treatment. Like there was a way to get through this. There's a way to help you guys in spite of the fact of what we decided to do. Now I know you're wondering where Miss Evers comes in. Well, here's a little bit about her role. Just it ain't even a little. Let's talk about it. In this study heard around the world. Born Eunice Verdell Rivers Laurie, August 29th, 1899, in Macon, Georgia. She was the eldest daughter. Her mother and father were advocates about education. Her father worked tirelessly hard to make sure him and his sisters, well, her and her sisters were able to get an adequate education. So in 1918, she enrolled in Tuskegee Institute. She was undecided when she got there, but later on she enrolled in nursing and she graduated in 1922. In 1923, she started her work in the public health sector. In her role in this public health, she would help provide adult education resources. She would help with home economics. She would help with anything that the rural community needed surrounding through Tuskegee, Alabama, and the surrounding areas. She was really big on child care or child welfare. So she was trying to improve birth and death registrations to where your baby is accounted, and if something happens, that you have something to death certificate, so you have those memories for you. And then training midwives to reducing the infant mortality rate to just to try to reduce the fact of infant deaths. This was her work with this group called the Move. It was a move. It wasn't a group. It was a movable school. So they went around to rural areas, and these are the things that they offered. So she became the first Black woman to be employed by the United States Public Health Services and awarded the Ovett Cup Hobby Award. So in 1932, she was a nurse on the staff of the Tuskegee Syphilis Experiment. She is the one, you guys, who recruited all 600 of those men for the study. And she worked hard to, keep them comfortable and to keep them in this program. And out of all the staff members, she was the only full-time staff. She was there every day for 40 years. Hearing this probably has you wondering why would she let them go through this and, not say anything, like tell them what they like, hey, you got this, and not telling y'all. But I need y'all to think about this. Think about the time, where they were located, and life or death. Understand this. These are the questions you should ask yourself. But this was still Jim Crow. So this was the South. So understand they were strong back then, but a lot of people were hesitant. People just didn't like you would stand up for what you believed in. But some people just didn't. It's a moral compass that we all have. Sometimes we choose not to use it. They say even though she was a part of the recruiting, she also was there for the families. So she would be there to help the families set funeral arrangements if one of them passed in the passing, or to make sure that they had the money. She was there with the patients if they ever complained. She would try to provide what was in her ability to provide. There isn't an account for how many survived after the experiment in 1972, they say. And then it was leaked to the press of the termination of the study. At this time, and approximately out of the 399, 28 patients had already died from syphilis. 100 of them died of complications related to syphilis. 40 of the patients' wives contracted or were infected with this. Then 19 children were born with congenital syphilis. You guys, then so in 1974, Congress had passed the National Research Act, meaning for any experimental trial, I have to let you know exactly what it entails. Now, I can't just tell you, hey, come do this trial, I'm gonna pay you for it, but then never tell you what I'm doing. You know that then then everyone was trained more properly, and they knew what was ethical and what wasn't. To give them the guidelines, like if you know this isn't right, then you shouldn't be doing it. But on May 16th, 1997, Bill Clinton publicly apologized and held a ceremony for the surviving Tuskegee study participants. In 1999, the federal government contributed the medical care for African Americans and underprivileged or quote unquote underserved people. So 5 out of 8 of those survivors attended the ceremony, you guys. They were attended by their family members. But Charlie Pollard appealed with his civil rights lawyer, Fred D. Gray. So in 1973, Pollard versus United States, it resulted in a $10 million settlement. Last but not least, Freddie Lee Tyson was also a participant. He was a sharecropper who had helped build the Moton Field where the Tuskegee Airmen learned to fly in World War II. So, you guys, reading and researching and learning more on this horrible situation, I continue to say we have evolved so much to the fact to where we take our past and our forefathers, mothers, daughters, sons, we take them for granted for what they've had to endure for us to have the luxury that we are so accustomed to right now. Like, all this just blew my mind just researching this, you guys. Like, I really didn't know how to feel, but then I had to, you have to sometimes take yourself out of your shoes and your thoughts and then put yourself in other people's shoes and see how they would feel. And then think about the time frame of when it happened. So me looking back and thinking about all the things that I've heard about Jim Crow and the Jim Crow laws, how they were, it was just like, yeah, but you know what is right and what's wrong. Period. That's where it draws the line at. This was an experiment that changed the world. It changed how no one can get away with anything. And doctors felt like they could. Now we have where it comes down to malpractice lawsuits when it comes to doctors doing the wrong thing. Everybody is accountable for their own actions. And people do not take accountability for when they know they've done something wrong or they fucked up some damn where. And it is okay to admit when you're wrong. It hurts when a lot of people have to die just for people to open their eyes. But sometimes it has to be like they say, you don't realize something until it happens, and sometimes you don't. The best thing to learn is to learn itself, and you won't realize something can happen to somebody else, and you can just be there, and until it sweeps across your front door, you wouldn't know how to handle it. I get some of it. It just kind of, I don't know, you guys. It's just crazy that these men had to endure that pain. This is the thing, you guys. There's so many of those men who, and one thing about this, so when it came down to being pilots back then, they had to go get their blood tested. Most of them didn't have it, so they could go ahead and go, and then they have to come back and get tested again. And then the next time they get tested again, now they have it. Like, this is the fact that people don't take accountability for what they do. People don't care. We have to learn we are human beings. We are human. We all make mistakes. We all have flaws. But our social status shouldn't be the reason for us to pick and choose who we want to pick and choose how we want to nitpick at someone because of this, because of their status. Our status shouldn't change the fact that we're still human. We're born in different places. We come from different races, but each one of us on the inside have the same exact parts. Nothing in us is different. Only thing that is different, and this is a quote from Ben Carson, the only difference is what it is wrapped in. That's it, you guys. That's like wrapping a Christmas present. Every year you're going to wrap a different present a different color. But the gift is still the same. The thought is still the same. People are still the same. It is just the color that they wrapped in. And racism is not something that you are born with. It is something that is taught. Guys, it is 2025. We have been through hell and hot water and we still going. We have to do better, you guys. And this goes for everybody. This goes for everybody. We all need to do better. Y'all make mistakes, but we all need to learn from the mistakes that we make. Right now we're celebrating Black History Month. We'll celebrate every culture. I will have something for every culture because I love everyone. I just want everybody to be able to be treated the same. Treat everybody kind. Love each other. You guys, this world is already hectic enough. Let's not make it any more. All this blew my mind anyway, you guys. I just wanted to let y'all know. But fun fact before I even just stop. Tuskegee Institute became Tuskegee University, a HBC school for its part in World War II. You guys, Well, you guys already know what next month is gonna be. Talent Tuesday. So we finna get into it. I hope you guys are ready. I'm super excited. I wanted to tell everybody thank you for listening. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for y'all's questions, y'all remarks that y'all do leave. I appreciate it all, you guys. Just continue. We're going to get better at this. We're going to further this. And all my fans, I love you guys. Mwah. Until next time, thank you for letting me set you ablaze with my topic. Miss Evers Boys. It's your girl, Bella Bella Cinderella. Till next time, love and light. Mwah.